Amid the scorching heat of Mesopotamia, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers traced the contours of ancient civilizations, stood the heart of Sumerian culture. There, in the ziggurat temples rising on the horizon, the invisible thread intertwining religion and morality defined every aspect of daily life. For the Sumerians, gods were not distant abstractions, but tangible presences, natural forces personified that demanded respect, offerings, and a deep understanding of the cosmic rules governing the world. In the Sumerian pantheon, the divine hierarchy reflected the complexity of earthly life. Enlil, the lord of winds and storms, reigned as a stern patriarch, the one who separated heaven from earth and imposed order on primordial chaos. Beside him stood Ninlil, his consort, goddess of grains and fertility, symbolizing the eternal cycle of planting and harvest that sustained civilization. Shamash, the solar god, brought light and justice to the world, illuminating the paths of men and revealing the secrets of darkness. Inini, better known as Ishtar, shone as the goddess of love and war, a living paradox oscillating between passion and destruction. Ninkasag, mother of the gods, represented the vital force that shaped humanity, while Ningirsu, the god of war, guarded the city of Lagash with martial vigour. Abu, also called Tammuz, symbolised the cycle of vegetation, dying and being reborn each season, while Sin, the moon god, regulated time and inspired the first calendars. These gods did not dwell in a distant ethereal realm. Their presences were felt in the sun's heat, abundant harvests, and sudden storms. Therefore, solar worship held a central place in Sumerian culture. The golden disk of the sun was a metaphor for the light of truth and relentless justice, and Shamash was invoked in judgments, ensuring that the scales of justice never tilted unjustly. Sumerian mythological narratives, passed down through generations, reflected humanity's attempt to understand its place in the cosmos. According to the myths, humanity was created by the gods from clay, moulded to serve as helpers in divine tasks. But this divine favour came at a cost. In the flood myths, echoes of later biblical stories can be found, where the gods, displeased with human corruption, decide to cleanse the earth with a great flood. Similarly, the story of the forbidden fruit has its roots in Sumerian literature, where knowledge reserved for the gods is offered to humanity, bringing both blessings and curses. To appease the gods, sacrifices and offerings were common practices. Food, jewellery, and precious artifacts were deposited on altars as demonstrations of devotion and humility. Initially, human sacrifices were part of these rituals, but over time, the Sumerians replaced these practices with animal sacrifices, a change reflecting moral and ethical maturation. Priests played a crucial role in this religious system, acting as mediators between humans and gods. They held political and economic power, accumulating wealth and influence. However, this concentration of power also brought corruption, openly denounced by figures like Urukagina, who criticised the greed and abuses committed by priests. Sumerian education had a religious bias, with schools established in temples. There, young people learned cuneiform writing, arithmetic, and geometry, essential skills for managing an empire. These early learning centres also recorded reflections on human nature, foreshadowing the first steps of anthropology. One of the most notable documents of this era is King Gudea's prayer to the goddess Bau, a sincere expression of faith and devotion, in which the ruler implores prosperity and justice for his people. This spirituality permeated even more earthly aspects of Sumerian life, such as the practice of sacred prostitution. Women dedicated to temples were seen as concubines of the gods, a role that brought prestige to their families, despite the controversial bias this practice would assume in later times. Marriage rules and women's rights also reflected Sumerian morality. Although the husband had authority over his wife, women could manage businesses, own property, and even request a divorce under certain conditions. However, severe punishments were imposed on unfaithful women, and infertility could justify the dissolution of marriage. These laws demonstrate a complex balance between freedom and social control. Children, on the other hand, did not enjoy the same rights. They could be disinherited or banished, a practice reflecting the importance of lineage and filial obedience. Still, attention to appearance was evident even among the young. Cosmetics and jewellery found in Sumerian tombs reveal a society that valued beauty and luxury. Bronze mirrors, tweezers, and makeup kits were used by both elite women and men. Queen Shub-ad, whose personal artifacts were unearthed in Ur, exemplifies this quest for elegance and status. Rings, necklaces, and makeup cases show that the desire for beauty and vanity is as old as civilization itself. Interestingly, many of these practices still resonate in modern times, showing that despite the millennia separating us, humanity remains fascinated by aesthetics and the mystery of existence. Thus, by revisiting Sumerian religion and morality, we find the foundations of many beliefs and practices that shaped subsequent history. The Sumerians, in their quest to understand the divine, left a legacy that echoes through time, reminding us that spirituality and ethics are intertwined in an inseparable way in the continuous fabric of human experience.